What's going on, everybody?
Hello. Happy Sunday.
How are you this fine Sunday in America and Canada?
Are you trying an ASMR?
Australia and the UK. I'm trying to think of where else we have people. What's up, everybody? Glad to have you. It is our regular Sunday show. Quick poll right here at the beginning of the show. I have a very important question I need to ask you guys.
Totally, Alexis. That was like totally the fake SNL NPR voice for sure.
Yes. Do you like sweaty balls?
That's exactly the one I was thinking of.
Anyway, that's not my poll question. My quick poll question I have to ask you is, can you flare your nostrils? Because as it turns out, Victoria is incapable of flaring her nostrils. She cannot do it. She can do this.
I can't.
But she can't flare the nostrils, and she can't do this.
I don't know.
So can you flare your nostrils? I need to know. I did not know that there were people who, I think you told me like once before that you can't. But I've never heard of somebody not being able to flare their nostrils.
I also can't wink my left eye. I can't
You can't close it by itself?
No. I can
How's
only
that?
do.
Do you just not have? Do you just not? Well, your one eye wasn't even good. Your one eye was. You were like. You can't just close. What happens when you try?
I can't do it.
Try it.
I've closed them both. I can't do it.
There's something wrong with your muscles in your face.
Apparently, I just have crappy muscles in my face holes. I don't know.
Weird. All right. Looks like you and Andrea can just hang out and not be able to flare your nostrils. And
thanks.
And we've got some other non-winkers. Yeah, Alexis, you're right. Too much Botox.
Yeah. Well, my Botox is like 3 months old, so I don't think that's it anymore. It's pretty much worn off.
Yeah, can you roll your tongue?
Yes.
Oh, you can do that. Ooh, you fancy. Can you fold it in half?
No.
No?
Weird.
You're weird. You're missing some muscles. Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. It is Sunday. You know, last week when we were on the show, it was like super hot here in Vegas, and we were showing you the temperature. I think when we ended the show, it was like 115. It actually ended up hitting 120 degrees in Vegas that day.
I think people have seen the news.
Record.
Because it was like
not
national
necessarily.
news.
Maybe they don't care. Maybe the
That's
only
true.
time they look at anything online or whatever is to watch us. It's possible. It's a possibility.
It's true. It's true.
Anyway, I'm just giving them the update. It hit 120 and it's been super hot. It did cool down a lot yesterday because suddenly it started raining like a mofo.
It's monsoon season
pouring down rain. So now it's like a little cooler, but it's humid, so that sucks. Personally, I'd rather just have the hot weather and no humidity.
I mean, we needed some rain. But
yeah.
It is monsoon season now for the next several weeks, so we're going to alternate between this really hot with these occasional heavy downpours, and it's just gross feeling now. So.
Okay. Lori wants to know why the flared nostril conversation came up. Now, this is a very important question you're asking here, and I'm telling you, it's a very fascinating answer I can give you. We were just about to go on the air, and we were giving each other the nose booger check to make sure that we didn't have any visible things dangling in our nostrils.
Or is the bat cave clear? That's the question.
And so I was flaring my nostrils to make it easier for Victoria to check up for me, and she said, I can't do that. Another question, can you raise one eyebrow? Can you raise one eyebrow?
I can only raise the right, the same one that I can wink.
Do it.
Well,
and you can't even do that.
I can't even do that right.
You're like, I can only wink with one eye. I'm like, no, I don't know that you really can. Yeah, I can do. My right eyebrow is the strongest, but I can kind of do the left.
Apparently I have facial paralysis. Who knew?
Apparently so. It's ridiculous. But yeah, it's been raining and it's a little overcast today, but still we're well over 100 degrees here right now.
Yeah, the tongue curl is a genetic trait because I remember learning that in biology in like junior high, and that was like a big thing. I totally remember that.
Lorna's bad at winking as well.
See, Lorna has face paralysis as well, apparently.
Now, if you can do the tongue curl and the tongue fold simultaneously, that's how you get the like crazy little loop-de-loops on your tongue. I will not show that to you just because how many times do you need to be looking at my tongue today? But yeah.
Yeah, let's hope my life never depends me winking.
Yeah,
true, right?
It must be really awkward when you're like trying to flirt and you're like you kind of wink
Who
at somebody.
the hell actually winks?
You wink at somebody across the room and you're like, oh.
Does they think I'm having a stroke?
Yeah.
Who
Some people
actually winks?
Some people do. You know what? I actually wink not involuntarily, but like I have this thing where I don't know, just kind of like joking around with somebody. I'll do a wink, like it's like a hey, that's
Well, like our friend Michelle winks constantly.
yes. I don't do it as much as Michelle does it, but I do. But similar to like
not Michelle in the chat, just our friend, a non-reseller friend.
I don't do it as much as Michelle does it, but I do that, and it's kind of like a jovial, like, hey, that was funny, or that's funny, or you're fun. I know, whatever. Anyway, I do wink. I don't do it as a flirting
I cannot imitate The Rock and do like the one eyebrow up
like
crazy.
this.
I can't do it
like this.
Yes, like that.
I think it's pretty good. I think it's a very strong. I got my eyeball.
It's a strong Rock impersonation.
It's a strong eyebrow lift. Okay. Anyway, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's like the whole, like, I do that, but I do it more like I'll do it to anybody. It has nothing to do with like actually being flirty or whatever.
I don't know. Apparently, I have facial paralysis. I don't know what to say. I have zero control over the muscles in my face. And yes, I have been getting Botox on the regular for a few years. But as you can see, I don't do a ton. You can I have facial expressions, and it's only here up. So I don't know.
No, we can't start the show. This is the show. This is all we're going to be talking about today. We are, as is put in the title, we are going to be doing a summer listing challenge coming up. We'll talk more about that at the end of the show. But just to let anyone know, if you don't want to watch the whole show, you can always skip to the end where we talk about it. But we're going to be doing, or I am going to be doing, a listing challenge. And I'll give you some more information about that. Lorna is going to be doing it with me, so we're very excited. We want you guys to participate as well. But I'll talk about that more when we get to the third part of our show. But first, before we start the show, okay, Los Angeles thrifter, before we start the show, we have to wish a very important person a happy birthday, and that is our friend Danica. I don't know. I don't think she's in the chat yet.
I can't blame her because it's her birthday, and this is probably the least exciting thing to do on your birthday.
Whatever.
To join us. However,
she loves us anyway. She'll probably watch it later. She usually, like, later on in the day or the next day, will suddenly get like 5 comments from her as she's watching the show, and she's doing like a non-live commentary. But anyway, Danica, we want to say happy birthday to you. We love you, and we miss you very much. But happy birthday. And hopefully you're having a decent day. Yeah, there you go.
Happy birthday. Daughter's name is Danica.
Oh. But yeah, this is our regular Sunday show. As I said before, we break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we look at our sales numbers for the week, our gross sales over all of our platforms. And then we break down some of the costs, like the cost of goods, most importantly, but also, shipping, fees, stuff like that. And then the middle part of our show, we look at our sales highlights for the last week: interesting sales, awesome sales, educational sales,
crappy sales,
lame
sometimes
sales of things that we've had for 10 years. And then the last part of our show is when we talk about, our goals that we set last week, if we were able to accomplish them or if we failed miserably, and then what we are hoping to accomplish in the future, next week and beyond. And that's where we're going to talk about this whole listing challenge thing. So yeah, where is Liz?
I don't know. She's a slacker. She's a slacker.
Rude.
Patty, nice to see you in the live chat. Patty's another one. She usually watches the replay because we'll get comments on Monday mornings. I think she watches Sunday nights and Monday mornings. Linda Dean, look at you.
Linda Dean.
You are on my list. I was going to comment about you as well.
And I didn't even know she had you on the list. I was going to comment if you popped into the chat. And I just want to say, Linda, we know you were having some health issues or scare as of recently. I won't share beyond that. But you came through and you're doing well, and I'm very happy about that. Vicky and I were just talking yesterday about you and how much we love you and your super positive attitude and like just kind of your energy when we're around you. We're like, because I was like, you know what? I don't really know Linda Dean very well, and I always have to call you by your full name for some reason. I don't really know Linda Dean very well, but I'm always happy when I see her and happy when I'm around her. So I'm very, very glad.
She has great energy. That was what I had said. You have great
Absolutely.
energy. And I love the fact that when she comes to meetups with her sister usually, or comes to the remix with her sister or something like that, the meetups are hilarious because now it's become almost a tradition when she comes for the meetups where we actually do it as a potluck style, that they bring a rotisserie chicken from Costco.
The first time
which
they
is
came,
brilliant.
The first time they came, they brought a rotisserie chicken, and I went over to the counter, where we had all the food laid out, and I'm like, who brought a rotisserie chicken? And it's like, I thought it was kind of weird. And then I realized it was pure genius because it was delicious. And I think at the time we were even like kind of dieting, like staying away from carbs or whatever. And I was like, I can eat the heck out of this rotisserie chicken. So,
well, you know what it is whenever you have a potluck and people bring things, especially in the summertime or when it's warm, people don't like to cook. So people will pick up, you've got like a cold cut platter or a veggie tray or desserts. We always end up with an inordinate amount of desserts, so there's never any like real food of substance. And having a rotisserie chicken comes in very handy.
It's delicious. Who doesn't love a rotisserie chicken? Mm-hmm. All right, let's go ahead and start our show and look at our numbers for last week. I gotta say, oh wait, I got this backwards. I gotta say, my numbers have been, it's like, on the one hand, it's a little disappointing because I feel like they're slipping a little bit, but they're kind of holding. But I've been doing all this work and I've just been staying super, super consistent. And it is definitely a little bit demotivating to like not see any growth from that and even see the sales go down a little bit.
But you're not seeing a decrease in the summer.
But exactly. But the reality is that stuff goes south, at least for me and the kind of stuff that I sell during the summer, and traditionally it's real bad, especially during July and August. So the fact that I'm kind of in a holding pattern right now, I have to be super grateful for. And it just makes me that much more excited for when we get past the summer to see what happens with my sales. But it is what it is. So let's go ahead and share my numbers. My eBay orders, definitely dropped. Like my total orders overall, 42, is a lot lower than what I've been getting. Only 24 on eBay when it's been closer to like 35 recently. 7 Etsy orders. Etsy's been pretty meh, although I've had some decent numbers wise on there for individual sales. Only 3 Poshmark orders, so that's pretty low. And then 8 between Grail, Mercari, and Depop, with Mercari kind of carrying the load there. So 42 total orders. eBay's, I'm still over 1,000. So for the summer, again, like last year, all of 2023, I don't think I ever broke 1,000 on any week out of all the 52 weeks. So $1,266.42. Etsy, $377.03. I'm definitely down on Etsy this year, so I don't know. 95 on Poshmark, and then $352 for Grailed, Mercari, and Depop combined. My total gross sales, $2,090.45, so just barely eked by that $2,000 mark. Shipping, $173.49. You can see the breakdown of all the fees. Cost of goods, roughly $100. Total net sales, $1,564.91. And then gross average sale price, didn't quite hit the 50 mark, but I'm at $49.77 with a net average sale price of $37.26.
That's really good, actually.
But,
look, it's Sandra in the chat. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen them in forever.
You don't like rotisserie chicken. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can understand like the whole meat on the bone grosses you out. I can totally get that.
We have Sandra and Tommy in the chat at the same time.
What?
All we need is Allison to have the trifecta of the dirty minds.
It's true. That's very true.
They're always, saying stuff.
Yeah.
So Lori, Terra Thrifts, Lori, I agree. You should be thankful. eBay sales are almost half of what they normally are. Mine are the normal summer slowdown, and we'll talk about that in a minute. For me, I've almost always experienced a summer slowdown, except for 2020, which, as we all know, it was because nobody went anywhere that entire summer. So we all had crazy sales. But I'm definitely down, but I'm up on my other platforms as well. I'm like up like 40% on Etsy year to date. So...
You're definitely beating me when it comes to Etsy, but yeah, and I don't know about you guys, but is anyone else just hating like the new shipping increases? It sucks because when they originally, I'm just going to take this off for a second because I think you're getting hit by it the most. Originally, when they introduced Ground Advantage, it was great, especially for stuff that was over £1. Like it was like I haven't even been using like the padded flat rate mailers anymore. For the longest time, and it was really great, and I think even you were doing less and less UPS,
less priority, very little priority.
But then they jacked the prices up just recently, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's way cheaper to do UPS, even for me, stuff that's like over £1. I have stuff like sweatshirts or sweaters and stuff that might be between £1 and £2, and I'm finding I have so many packages where it'd be as much as 50 to 75 cents cheaper to go UPS, which, I'm not going to do that every day because we don't have the pickup for UPS. I mean, we can get it, but it's like you're supposed to pay for it, whatever. It's more of a hassle. But we were talking about, we're probably going to start like on Mondays when we have like the biggest amount of shipping that we do, choosing all of the UPS shipping, because it's probably going to save us a good $10 each. Just to use UPS.
And it's only a mile and a half from us. It just means that we have to get in the hot car and go drop it off. But yeah, I mean, I was shipping stuff 1 to 2 pounds to the East Coast Ground Advantage for like $6.20 was a lot of it, or $6.21 or something like that was the cost. So going to like zone 7 or 8 for me. And now zone 7 or 8 for 1 to 2 pounds in a 13 by 8 poly mailer is over $9.
I think
so it jumped up literally $3.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense to me, because I feel like, I mean, looking at what I'm doing with my sales, volume over price, it just seems like when they did that change to Ground Advantage, they must have like gotten a lot more volume of shipping, and now that they're making this change, it's kind of going back to UPS. But I see, Alexis does all shoes pretty much.
Right, she's 1 to 2 pounds.
So Alexis, what are you doing? Are you doing more UPS? Like, are you just like taking it and charging more for shipping? How are you addressing the huge increase in shipping for you?
I want to answer Patty's question there. We do have a UPS business account, but Pirate Ship is still cheaper using their UPS labels than it is through purchasing through our UPS business account, because we're not. I mean, I've had it for probably 15 years, a UPS business account, and I'm grandfathered into a pretty good price. It's actually better than eBay's pricing on UPS, but it's not better than Pirate Ships. So when you're using a Pirate Ship, that's not your business account to schedule a pickup with, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And we feel like the we have such a great mail lady, and I feel like it's a little bit more of a hassle to deal with like the UPS pickups. It's just easier. We're so close. We're like 2 minutes away. I mean, it's just more of like we just don't feel like leaving the house. So honestly, it's not a big deal.
I did raise my flat rates this week. Most of you guys know, or if you don't know, I use flat rate shipping. So does Katy, since she started charging for shipping fairly recently. I use a flat rate shipping. Anything under 1 pound, I charge, I think $6 flat rate. And anything, sometimes I'll make $1 now on the $4 and change, 5 ounce items or whatever. But I'm still losing money on some of the others because it's over $6 if it's like 12 ounces and up. It's going to zone 7 or 8, but it's still better than free. I'm not absorbing the whole thing. Yeah. And then I was charging $8.75 on anything 1 pound and higher, like shoes, jeans, jackets, things that are like smaller, but 2, 3, 4 pounds, whatever. And always eating a little bit here and there on the shipping. I just raised it to, I was at $8.75. I just raised it to $8.99. Still, you want it to look affordable, and for people that are using calculated shipping and they live on one coast or the other, it definitely looks way better than calculated, but you want it to look agreeable, Yeah. Anyway.
All right, let's finish this up and look at your numbers. What you got going on here?
Not much different than last week. It's almost exactly the same. So 24 orders on eBay. I did 10 on Etsy, 7 on Poshmark. I had 0 on Mercari, for a total of 41 outgoing orders, almost exactly the same as Katy. It wasn't a great week for me. 1263 on eBay, 687 on Etsy. That's a good Etsy week. I've been doing well on Etsy. $280 on Poshmark. Meh, better on Posh than I've done before, but still not great. My total week, $2230, not fantastic. Shipping was a little high. I did have several international sales on Etsy, so that obviously creeped up my shipping because I'm paying out of pocket there, not shipping using EIS. And my cost of goods is always low, at least. So my total net, $16.41 and change. My gross average sale price was actually very good at $54. Really good. And then my net is $40. My total net sales $16.41. Yeah, that's about $900 too little for what I prefer. So it is what it is.
It's interesting with your Mercari. I'm telling you, my Mercari has gotten better since they made all the changes. And I
mine tanked.
I almost always have like active orders like being processed and stuff. I'm not making a ton on there, but it seems to be more active, which I really appreciate. All right, let's go ahead and take those off of there.
Yeah, I'm with you, Alexis. For like 6 months, Ground Advantage was not insanely profitable, but I was at least making $1 on every package, which to me is a win, right?
Yeah. And I think Tracy asked earlier if Ground Advantage is gone already. No,
No,
it's not gone.
Not.
It's
They just had there were 2 price increases just this last week or two with USPS once again. So now
it just went from being super affordable to not so affordable on stuff over £1. So,
which defeated the purpose of using it, honestly, because it does take longer than priority in many cases.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our sales highlights for the week, starting with you. What you got? This is pretty fancy.
Yeah, so I went to an estate sale on my birthday, so it was just, my birthday was just exactly 4 weeks ago, and I just got these listed in this last week or so. A whole bunch of vintage Peruvian Connection sweaters. I showed them in our haul video, the last haul video that we did. So I paid $10 a piece for them. I did pay up because it was an estate sale, but Peruvian Connection is always a good, and look at my typo in that title. Actually, I just noticed just now. Typo in the title, and it's still sold, so it sold within a week.
I like Peruvian Connection sweaters.
Peruvian?
Peruvian.
Anyway. Sweet baby Jesus. Anyway, it sold for the price you see there. I was running a smaller sale. I have increased my promoted listing percentage a little bit and decreased the percentage off on my sale prices. Again, like anything else, just playing around, trying to find what's working.
What's the winning combination?
You know, we just throw shit up against a wall and hope something sticks. So $10 into $70 in less than a week in the middle of the summer. I'm not going to cry about it, right? It's a pretty
Stop crying about it. Jeez.
It's a pretty sweater. So it sold for $70. I was happy with that.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, first one for me is this. It looks super boring. It's just a zip-up hoodie, a gray zip-up hoodie.
Seriously boring.
But this is a vintage health knit hoodie, and if you look, the interesting thing about it, you'll see it's got the waffle weave lining, so it's like this extra heavy zip-up hoodie. And I did not sell it for the price you see there. I sent an offer out, or I received an offer for $50 and I went ahead and sold it. I got this in Dallas at the bins, so I did not pay a whole lot for it. It was pretty stained, and I was like, I'm going to take a chance because I'm only paying like whatever it was there, $1.49 a pound. So I got it, and it actually ended up being rust stains. It had these big red stains on it, and thanks to our friend Britt, who had suggested, was it Iron Off or
Rust
whatever,
Off or something?
it's Iron Off spray. If you think something might be rust, if you soak it with that and then wash it, it really does work. And so I was able to get the stains out. But if you look up health knit, these hoodies, and look at comps,
waffle stuff inside, that's what people like.
Now this one is probably 80s based on this tag, but the ones that are even older, if you look them up, some of them go for quite a bit more than this. So you just never know. Like, some of this stuff really can be worth a lot. But I was ready to make some money off of this, and so I got $50 plus shipping, and I was happy because I paid like maybe $2-3.
All right, so quick question, Sandra, what is the Pink Pony Club? I don't even know what that means. I'm afraid to ask because I don't know what you're going to say, but I need to know. What do you mean? I know you're referencing the Peruvian Connection sweater, but I don't know what the Pink Pony Club is, and I'm afraid to Google that. So
yeah, you've got her scared over here.
I need to. Are we talking like My Little Pony bronies, that type of thing, that type of weirdness? I don't know. No hate on your.
She says, "Oh," or they say, "OMG." All right.
I don't know if I want to know. Don't tell me.
All right. What's going on with your Simpsons here?
So this is just one of those. I've had this for quite a while. I have heard Chapel Rowan. Yeah, I actually really like her. But I still don't know the music well enough to comment. Anyway, this was just one of those collabs with The Simpsons and State Bicycle Company. I've had this for quite a bit, but it's not like a very expensive thing. It just happens that these collabs tend to sell for good money. This is one that I had listed for a very long time that I ended, did sell similar, changed out the photo and changed a couple of things in the title, all that kind of stuff. And it sold for an offer. It was not on sale at the time. I took an offer for $70 on that, and I was perfectly happy to take that because I would have sold it for probably $30 at this point. I've had it for so long. So,
yeah. So you definitely want to look up when it's something that's like a collab, because this, it's not vintage. It's printed. The tag's printed. These Simpsons ones are a dime a dozen. But especially when you see that something is a collab, which you see because it's got the X, and I'm just saying it's for people who might not know what that deal is. Sometimes they can be worth more. So it's always worth checking out if you've got the time. All right. Next one for me, Britt. When Britt finally watches this, he's going to be like, oh, you finally sold that. I bought this from Britt when he did his first and I think pretty sure only Whatnot show. I bought a few t-shirts from him, but I had bought this one from him, and I believe he had 2 of them, and so he decided he would put one of them up for sale on Whatnot. So I bought it. I'm pretty positive I paid $10 for it, and also I think like either that same day or the day before he actually sold the other one for like $40, but he'll probably chime in the comments after. He doesn't usually watch live. Anyway, so I've had it for probably too long because I don't even remember when that was. It was easily a year ago or more.
But it's probably closer to 2 years.
Yeah, he'll have to tell us. But I did sell it for $59.99, you guys, plus shipping. I am going through my old stuff.
Writers, critters, huh?
Yeah, I am going through my old stuff and updating my old listings. And so this definitely would have been updated with a lower price. I would never list this for this price now. But hey, I'll take $60 plus shipping. I'm very happy about that.
So to those of you guys in the chat talking about Chapel Roan, I've actually, my best friend turned me on to her a few weeks ago. She's definitely having a moment right now.
Oh yeah, he sent me some stuff on her too.
She's very cool look, very cool sound. It's not traditionally the type of music that I listen to, but I can see why people are comparing her to Gaga and that kind of stuff. So a lot of fun.
Yeah. All right. What you got here?
Brett is watching.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen. He says that you finally sold that.
This came in a box of North Face stuff that I bought from our friend Robin Lett on Whatnot. She was doing box lots of new with tags North Face stuff. She had bought a trailer of North Face stuff a few years ago, and she's been slowly liquidating it into the market. As you can see, the price on this, the new price, $189. I finally sold it. This was another one that I had ended and then did a sell similar and changed the title and the description and blah 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 blah. So this one I did take an offer on. It didn't sell for that. It sold for $80. I think I had paid $60 for the whole box, and it had 6 or 7 pieces in it, and I'm down to maybe 1.
Yeah, you have to restock up. Very good, very good. All right, I got this Coca-Cola bear t-shirt. Cute. I don't know how long I've definitely had this for probably about a year. So again, sold this one for $59.99. I probably would still list this for the same price because it is a pretty cool shirt. It took a while to sell it, but I mean, come on, it's got a great graphic, like a pretty much all over print. It's got the awesome, what do they call it? The Borealis? What are the Northern Lights called?
Aurora Borealis.
It is a very cool shirt. So I don't think if I would have had to relist it, I wouldn't have gone any cheaper. I would have been willing to wait for it because it is a very awesome t-shirt. So I was happy to get that. $59.
Not last haul, but haul before that, Jen said.
What?
That was when you got this shirt.
The Coca-Cola? Oh, okay. So I haven't had that long. Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't have my current title structure. So anyway, so that means I paid like $5 for it, but it's a very cool shirt. $60.
It's
plus, cute. Yeah, it's adorable. They're just hanging out, man. Just drinking some Cokes. Hanging out with the buds.
This was a bins find that actually sold for the price you see there, $104. I probably paid $2 for it. I don't think it was over £1. If you scroll down, it's just a vintage 70s. It's polyester. This was probably made, I did do a bunch of searching. I mean, you guys are great internet sleuths. Maybe someone will find it for me. But I was trying to figure out which casino this dress went with. It was probably a cocktail waitress dress. Based on where it says it comes career apparel division, all that kind of stuff. We live in Vegas. We get a lot of Vegas uniforms that end up in the bins occasionally, especially the vintage ones. I'd buy all of them, by the way, when I find them. But anyway, it's just this cute little skater mini dress, but it's that polyester, and you can tell from the fabric and the tags that it's definitely 70s. I was not, it just being a basic black dress, red dress, I wasn't able to figure out which hotel or casino it had come from. But if I had been able to figure that out, I definitely would have put that in the title and the description, and it would have sold for more, I'm sure. But it's still a really cute dress. It sold for the price you see there. And I've had it for a while. I mean, I've probably had it at least 6 months or so, maybe more. I tend, it's starting to blend together with me. When you have 5,000 items for sale, unless it's a recent purchase, I can't remember anymore.
Yeah, well, I can't remember some recent stuff apparently, but then other stuff like the shirt from Britt, I remember every detail, including how much she sold the other one for. So, anyway, now this one I did get from Jennifer as well, correct?
Back on the Wrangler.
4409. I sold this one for. Wrangler is a pretty good. Some of the stuff you can sell for more, like the brush popper stuff with the really awesome patterns and like the solid color on the inside.
It's also just thicker, stiffer material.
Right, those can sell for a lot, but they're very. There's a lot of thicker, stiffer material ones that don't have like the iconic like true brush popper has it'll be like patterned on the outside usually, but then the inside fabric is solid. That's like the surefire way if it doesn't actually say brush popper,
or if it's missing a tag or something.
Yeah, exactly. They'll sell for a lot, but this one I love the color on this. It's just a really nice teal. It does not have the pearl snap buttons, but that's okay. That's all right.
Regular buttons.
So I would have paid like $5 for it if I got it from Jen. I think in the past I paid like $10 for some, but now we've kind of gotten down to if I buy a big batch from her, as long as I take everything, it's $5 a piece. So
that's fair.
Which I think is fair. 4409 though, so not a bad little flip.
I've had this for a little bit. I remember talking about this, and I'm pretty sure Michelle commented on this when I first showed it in a haul, because this reminds me of Michelle. She likes that funky, bright pattern type of stuff. So this, I did sell it for what you see there. I held out for a pretty high price. If this had a very basic pattern on it, it probably would have been like a $60 muumuu. But something about this particular pattern really struck me. I wanted to price it high, first of all, because I would probably wear it for the Roper Romp if it was not, if it hadn't sold by October. But also, look how cute it is. It's a really cute.
It is cute.
Mrs. Roper, Mrs. Clown. Yeah, it's just, but it sold for the price there, 104. I've had a lot of interest in it. I've sent out a lot of offers over the times and the last few months. It's always had a high watcher count, and gone through various sales cycles off and on, but it sold for $104. And that's a bins buy as well, by the way. So just a couple of bucks I paid for it originally.
Nice. All right, next up for me, this Honeymooners t-shirt. Jen, did I get this one from you? I feel like I got it from somebody in particular, and I can't remember who.
I think you bought that in Dallas.
I might have gotten it in Dallas. I can't remember, or like I got it from Angelisa or something like that. I think I might have gotten it from Angelisa. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like somebody gave it to me as opposed to me buying it. Anyway, sold it for $62.99 and most likely didn't pay anything for it. I'm pretty sure. So not entirely sure, but $62.99, which probably is a little bit higher than I should have priced it for. It did take a little while. These aren't super, super rare, and they don't go for a ton of money. But that's where Etsy tends to pull through. You tend to get like higher prices there than you can on the other platforms. So I was pretty happy about that. But just, you know me, I like anything TV or movie related. It always makes me happy to pick up stuff like that.
Sandra, I kind of like your wife's idea. Muumuu movie night once a month. They dress up in muumuus and watch movies.
Nice.
I mean, I'm all about that.
Very nice.
I could dress up. I don't even need to make that a theme. I'm happy.
Now, do they go commando when they do the Muumuu movie night? Because that seems like a good idea too. They just get like fully feel free.
Just be necky.
Yeah, that's the great thing about a muumuu. You can be naked. And nobody's gonna know. And
That's true. That's true.
And you get to have a nice little breeze and everything. It's great. All right, next up for you.
So this is just kind of a heads up. I think I've talked about this before, but Lucky Brand, vintage Lucky Brand, current Lucky Brand stuff, meh. Vintage Lucky Brand stuff, I do think you need to keep an eye out for, because whether it's women's or men's, the pants sell very well, as do things like the wide leg, like joggers. Those sell very, very well, and some of them sell for hundreds of dollars. So this was more of an introductory. Like, I've had this listed for maybe a week. I hadn't even put this away yet. from being listed and coming back from my lister. It got cross-posted, got pulled into a sale that I had on Etsy, and sold very quickly for $45. These were a bins buy. I paid maybe $2 for them.
Nice.
So they're just a nice looking jean. And because they're that wider flare leg, like that's not a style that's out currently, but it is a style that is back. So keep your eye out on silhouettes of certain jeans and brands. It's not necessarily all about the brand. It's about the silhouette, the style, the fashion of it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, next up, I have this awesome Lord Jeff cardigan sweater. It's I think I dated it like 70s, and I was pretty sure I had it in the right time period, but whatever. It's just a nice kind of maroon cardigan sweater, and I haven't had this like a crazy amount of time, and I got this at the bins, I'm pretty sure, so I paid maybe $3 for it. And again, this is
you got this when you purchased a bunch of grandpa sweaters. I had grabbed a couple, and you grabbed the rest of them when we were at the bins.
Okay, yeah. And so, so I paid maybe $3, and again, Etsy comes through, and I got $89.99. Now, again, I probably would list this for less now. I think I've had it listed for a while. I'm kind of playing around a lot with my pricing, trying not to hang on to stuff for so long. It would be nice to have stuff moving through a lot faster, because I really do have a lot of good sources between buying, bulk buying from people like Jen, or being able to go to the bins. It's like I don't need to be hanging on to this stuff. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep building my inventory. So, yeah. But this was a good flip. And I'd never heard of the brand, but luckily it's like the main tag, there was nothing there. But then it had this little kind of tag off to the side, and it said Lord Jeff. So I was able to research it.
Lord Jeff.
Lord Jeff.
Okay, so these, I'm pretty sure Katie found these for me at the bins once. They are pretty heavy. They were about 3.5 pounds, so I probably paid $7 for them. $7 to $8 for them at the bins. They're just vintage chaps, but they're that nice, heavy, well-made leather. You can tell that they're not, they're top grain leather. They're not the super inexpensive, cheap stuff that you can find nowadays. So they sold on Etsy for $97, but here's the thing. They sold to Switzerland.
Ooh.
And the buyer paid $75 for shipping. Now, I can't tell you why they paid $75 for shipping, and I probably should have been nicer in giving them a partial refund, but I did not.
Were they over 4 pounds or
They're
something?
under 4 pounds.
Huh.
So they shipped for like $28. So I actually made about $150 on these.
Wow, that's crazy.
Or maybe at least 140 on these. So, I mean, I the buyer may have chosen priority, but the reality is that I'm sending it through pirate ship, and whether you're sending priority international or first class international, they travel at the same rate of speed. There's no preference on that. It's just about weight. So there was no reason for me.
Yeah.
To.
Yeah, I wonder if they are in a cover band for what can I think of the name all of a sudden?
YMCA, the Village People.
Village People. I wonder if they're in a Swiss Village People cover band.
I mean, that would be pretty fantastic.
All right, next up. Now I've had this shirt for quite a while, and I sold it for $89.99. I think I paid like $20. It was one that I bought when we had gone through. We were next door to Yesterday's Fits and got to go through his dirty laundry. They had bags and bags and bags.
Oh,
of
yeah, that
stuff.
was years ago.
It was like probably a year and a half at least.
No, way more than that.
And it was probably like about a year and a half.
So that's for the LA riots.
I've done it more than once, but
the date from the LA.
Well,
riots?
no, because that's the thing. I don't really know what it is because
that's not the date from the LA.
It's not.
Riots.
It was like 94 or 93. No, 92.
I'd have to look it up, but I'm
trying to think of the lyrics.
I knew it was earlier.
I'm trying to think of the lyrics to the
We didn't start
Sublime.
the fire.
No. Let me finish, dang nabbit. Maybe you'll know what I'm saying. No, the Sublime song. April, what is it? The April something 1992. There was a riot on the streets. Anyway, but I sold it for $89.90. Yeah, see, 92. I had to go back in my brain to Sublime lyrics to remember what year it was. So I don't know what this April 1999 thing is, but whatever. I had done research.
Someone knew what it was to buy it for $90.
Yeah, I had done research at the time, but I was just like, I don't know, maybe it's just who knows. But $89.99, and I think I paid like $20 for it. I had it for way too long. I've sent out so many offers for like $40 or $50 on eBay, but again, Etsy came through. So there you go. Are you gonna have a little candy?
I am a little bit nauseous, so I'm gonna have a little anti-nausea candy. But
All right.
Thank you for publicizing.
Well, they're not gonna notice the crinkle.
I wasn't gonna do that.
They probably already could hear it. There's a microphone right here. All right, tell us about this teddy bear.
Okay, so this teddy bear I found at the bins. I actually bought 2 of them at the bins. One already sold. It sold for like $275, and this one I sent out. A buyer was trying to purchase it from me from Germany on eBay, and they could not purchase it from eBay. So I sent a very cryptic message telling them to, Google the title and see where else it came up.
Yeah.
So then they contacted me through Etsy, and they were able to purchase it through Etsy. But if you look at these, this was a handmade traditional. It had all the information behind it. I would never have tried to make it up and figure out what that was, but it had all the information behind it. If you look, this sold in the 90s scroll down to the last, for $450 in the 90s.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a couple of those from the bins, along with some other traditional Native American stuff. I wish I'd been able to rescue it all. I don't really remember what happened to all of it, but I've had this for probably a year or 2. I think my friend Corey was with me when I found these, and she may have gotten one of them. In any case, when they contacted me through Etsy, I was then able to change the price and give it to them for the price that I had offered on eBay. If the people are not able to purchase because of something that is wrong on eBay on their end, I don't have a problem taking it off platform. Say what you will about that, but if I can't complete the transaction there, then
it drives me crazy when somebody asks me in a message, "Oh, do you have this on Poshmark or whatever?" And I'm like thinking in my head, because I'm never gonna like say yes, I do. I don't want to get in trouble on my eBay account. And it's just like, my name is the same on every freaking platform, people. All my stuff's listed on all the different platforms. Could you just take a second and go look for yourself before asking me where I can't... why is she saying that she lost us? Are we still there? Are we still on? I think we're still on.
Maybe that was Patty lost us. Refresh your screen, Patty.
I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, so I just wish people would do that. So, good sale. All right, next up. Is anyone else having any issues with us? Just let us know. We're on.
Okay, Lori got us.
Okay. I have this Winter Park Ski Resort t-shirt. I think I got this at the bins, or I got it from Jesse at Yesterday's Fits. Okay, I don't know if anyone else is having any issues with the sound or anything like that, but maybe just try refreshing your feed. Some things I remember from years ago that I got in all the details. I don't remember with this one. I might have gotten it with a really big load of stuff. Who knows? Maybe I got it from Jen, like everything else lately that I sell. But sold it for $43.50 on Mercari. See, I'm getting some good Mercari sales. And again, with Mercari, they no fees, so I do free shipping. So I do have to send shipping or pay for the shipping out of this $43.50, but no other fees. I freaking love it. I'm not having to pay the 10% fee. I'm not having to pay the processing fee. It's fantastic.
I'm not selling a ton on Mercari, and I never really was, but I'm selling a little less than I was before they changed it. I've always done free shipping on Mercari because I don't run sales. Mm-hmm. But I'm loving the fact that there's no fees. I'm definitely willing to accept a much lower sale price when there's no fees, because it's literally costs you nothing to list and nothing to sell. Like, I can't. Yeah. You can't really complain about being a seller.
Are you charging for shipping on Mercari?
No, I just said I do free shipping.
Sorry.
So you never listen to me.
Yeah, I never listen to you. Who made you lunch today? Who made you lunch today?
That's true. You made me lunch.
Yeah, exactly. I might slip something in it. Maybe that's why you're nauseous right now. So anyway, you guys know I love my ski stuff, and I was very happy to make $43.50 on that and not have to pay any stinking fees.
I am with you, Michelle. I don't withdraw my sales money on Mercari until I hit at least 100 these days, because they now charge $2 to deposit it. So I never it's never a ton of money, so it's not something I'm counting on as much.
I go to like 200.
Yeah, she's doing better. So I mean, I don't know if it would take me a month to get to 200 on Mercari. So
All right, what you got here?
This is just a brand to keep an eye out for. Unfortunately, this is a bins buy, so I probably paid 75 cents. It's a light nylon piece of lingerie. This was from a former lister that had that striped mannequin that she used for about a month.
I thought it was part of it.
That I flippin' hated, and because it was so terrible for photos, but obviously I'm not going to redo these photos. But in any case, this was a bins buy. Dina is a very good vintage lingerie brand. If it comes with the two pieces and it's a peignoir set or it's a long nightgown or a full nightgown, it definitely sells much better. So I was really using this just to say that even though this was just the one piece, it sold fairly quickly. Maybe, well, I shouldn't say that. It sold within about 6 months, but it sold for a good price, which is the full price on Poshmark of $60. Yeah, that mannequin's very Beetlejuice. It's a very loud and distracting mannequin. I do not recommend, by the way, if you're going to buy a mannequin, don't buy this one.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
I think somebody did murder their husband in that robe.
But it's a difficult mannequin to get good photography pictures from. So
well, and it just, when you first look at it, you're thinking that's part of the...
I know.
Part of what you would be buying.
Thankfully, right. I don't have too many items that are photographed.
Tommy, yeah, I use Pirate Ship for Mercari. I use Pirate Ship. The only things I don't use Pirate Ship for is obviously Poshmark, and then Depop for the most part. I have some older things on Depop where I still have to buy the shipping, buy the label, and then Grail. Those three platforms give me labels. So,
yeah, I use Pirate Ship exclusively. So,
because
I'm not on Grail.
Except for Poshmark.
Except Poshmark, yeah.
All right, next up for me. All right, $13 sale. Whoa, doggy, hold me back.
Why are we talking about the $13 sale?
How dare you? It's important. Because, so this piece of crap, just kidding, Jen. I'm really just kidding. This shirt I got in my last buy from Jen. And like I was saying earlier, when I buy from Jen, the agreement we have now is, it'll be like a large group of stuff, like 100, 150 items. And I just do $5 an item across the board. And as long as I'm taking everything. So, but the thing that's great about buying from Jen is that generally most of the stuff that she puts in those buys is all stuff that I really like, and I think I can make some decent money with. And there's generally only a few items where I'm kind of like, and I'm not excited about it, but I'm like, whatever. And it's part of the whole deal, right? And so one of them ended up being that Wrangler shirt that I ended up selling with the missing elbows and still was able to sell. And then this is one, these particular Western shirts, this is a pretty basic, this is like you're in the 80s, you working as an accountant in Texas. And so you got and
you're wearing this with this slacks.
You got your ugly window pane plaid beige.
I still wouldn't have priced it that low, but
beige shirt. Well, here's the deal: is it had stains on the back of it, and I washed it and I could not get them out, and so I didn't price it this low. I priced it at like $20, and somebody, I think on eBay it's like $23.99, whatever. It was $20 whatever. But I priced it for $20 on Poshmark. But what I love about Poshmark is that somebody makes you an offer. Somebody made an offer. I only had it listed for like a day, so yes, I probably did underprice it. But somebody had it. I had it listed for a day, and somebody made an offer for $13. And this is what I love about Poshmark is they tell you right there, and this is the same for a couple other platforms too. But they tell you right there, you will receive blah blah blah. And for this, it was $10. Okay,
so you doubled your money.
So I'm like. And you get the label, so you don't have to pay for a label out of that. So I'm like, I can get rid of the shirt that's got a stain that I don't care about, and then I'd rather just not even have in my inventory. And I make $5 because, again, I paid $5 for it. So I'm up $5, and I've gotten rid of this, so it's not even a part of that batch anymore. So
yeah, that's a good point, Patty said. Old guys wear the snap shirts because they can button with fingers that don't work so good anymore. That's probably pretty accurate. Yeah, I mean, I probably would have priced that a little higher just because I would have taken the brand out because it was not relevant or adding to it. But I always buy all the Pearl Snap shirts.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the short sleeve ones, depending on what they look like, do not fly off the shelf. So, and like I said, this one's especially boring. This is like a Dwight Schrute. What's his name? From
The Office.
What's his name? The emotion vampire, whatever. From What We Do in the Shadows. This is like the most boring, ugliest.
I can picture this with a guy with a pocket protector and glasses, big 70s like Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
Yeah,
wearing this for sure.
Yeah, so like I said, I did not price it this low. It's just that when Poshmark gives me that prompt, I'm like, heck yeah, I haven't put the shirt away yet. I know exactly where it is. It's going to take me 2 seconds to pull it. I'm just going to get rid of it and not even have to worry about it. Yeah, Colin Robinson. All right, next up for you.
So this was actually a really good full price sale on Poshmark, $97. And as a matter of fact, this might not have been a full sale. I think I probably had it priced at 120. But if you look at this brand of sweatshirt, it sells for quite a lot. Now, I bought this from the bins because it was new with tags and it was a cute colorway, and I figured if it wasn't, and it felt quality, right? I didn't look it up. I figured, okay, it's either going to be a $30 sweatshirt or I'm going to keep it, right? But if you look up this particular brand, Wanakomi, it's a current brand, it's not vintage, and you find certain brand, they sell for quite a bit. I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna list it pretty high. And it was maybe listed for about 3 months or so. $97 for a sweatshirt I got at the bins.
$97.
A brand I've never heard of.
97.
So sometimes these little boutique type of brands, I mean, yay.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, Lori, Colin Robinson, the energy vampire. Let me tell you guys, I just wanted to let you guys know. First of all, I want to ask you, how many of you guys actually watch What We Do in the Shadows? And secondly, I would like to inform you that I got Vicky to watch half an episode, and she said, this is so stupid, I never want to watch this again. So now, please,
Accurate.
if you are a lover of What We Do in the Shadows, please know that your hatred towards Victoria right now, your outrage, is completely justified. Because it is probably one of the funniest shows ever. I love it. All right, last one for me. A pretty mediocre week overall on Poshmark, but I was very happy to sell this for $55. Somebody they sent out the offer. This is another one. I had it listed everywhere for like $70 because it was, again, under my old approach with pricing, and so I had it priced
Listed high, let it fly.
Too stinking
Not
high.
anymore.
And so when somebody offered me 55, I was like, heck yeah. I think I was about ready to like relist it on eBay for like $40. So yeah, I'll take 55. Bring it. But it is an awesome shirt, and it was dead stock, and it's
a Ryan Root shirt. I think I said that when you showed it to me before when you found it.
Yeah, probably.
Ryan would wear that.
For sure. It's very nice. But
so you guys, I don't know. I see. Lori at least agrees with me that it is the dumbest show ever. I don't like absurdist humor, so that's really why it annoys me.
Well, because yeah, Vicky will say she doesn't like dumb shows, and I'm like, I don't think that. First of all, there is dumb comedy, and then there's absurdist comedy, and I said you may not like dumb comedy, but I think you also don't like absurdist comedy, because absurdist comedy to me is actually very clever. It's just not everybody's cup of tea. And for
Definitely
me,
not. No.
I think it is so freaking funny.
I'm kind of a snob. I like highbrow humor. I like intelligent humor.
Okay, but see right there, that's what I'm saying. Absurdist is not dumb. It's not the same as slapsticky, silly, goofy, talking about farts.
Like
and,
Jim Carrey type stuff. I don't like that either.
So absurdist to me is intelligent humor. You just like more straightforward, like you don't like absurdity. You want just like your regular shows, even drama and horror and stuff. You want it in reality. You don't like sci-fi because you don't want it to be set in another universe or in space. You want reality-based stuff that's straightforward.
Oh, Sandra, I'm obsessed with Hacks. Loved it. Can't wait for the 4th season.
100%.
Love that show. So well written. Best thing that Jean Smart has ever done. She deserves any and all accolades for it. It's a fantastic show.
Very, very
great
good.
Characters, great writing. Can't say enough good stuff about it, actually.
Very good. All right, let's get into the last part of our show, talking about goals and whatnot. As far as our goals that we set last week, I'm still on the same page, still hitting my 10 listings every day. I think have you kept up with it, however you do your listing?
I do 10 new
15?
listings a day, 10 to 15 new listings a day. I've been doing 10 from my draft bank, which is my drafts that my lister does for me, and then I've been doing 5 or more of the hard goods or dead stock stuff that I have on my end that I also photograph and do all that for, and then I've been reworking 10 to 15 listings a day. Now those reworked listings I'm actually putting in my bank of scheduled listings because I'm going to be gone for 10 days. So I just want it to show some sort of activity while I'm gone, but it's not going to be new listings because I'd rather have those up. So I've got about 4 days. Yeah, I've got four days banked. I need to do 6 more days over the next few days. So I leave on Thursday.
So that's going to be like
early.
your goal for
So that's
the
my
next few
goal
days?
is I need to get 60 more, or I need to get 6 more drafts banked, 6 more days of
You're gonna
drafts
schedule
banked
those?
and scheduled, because they've already been scheduled. So I don't have to shut all my stuff off while I'm gone. Katie's going to be shipping for me. I'm just hoping to have some good activity while I'm gone. I will be completely off grid for 10 days. I will have access to like Messenger, and I can answer questions on my apps and stuff, but the cell service and is spotty at best, and obviously I'll be paying attention to the children, so I can't,
Yeah.
we're not supposed to be on our phones other than taking pictures of the kids for their families and for our camp itself. So, I'm not going to be on my phone except early morning or late night usually.
Yeah. And everybody out there, whether you're watching live or after the fact, please, we encourage you to participate in this part of the show of the setting of goals or talking about what you were able to accomplish last week or what you want to do next week. So either in the chat or in the comments afterwards. I've been getting my 10 listings a day. I also, processed and photographed a bunch of stuff. Right now I have like 111 items that are totally ready to go for me to start listing over this next week. And then I also have been over the last week and a half going to the bins quite a bit with Vikki and by myself to stock up because, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show and in the title of the show, I am putting out a listing challenge. I was already doing this. I've talked about it a little bit, and Lorna had already contacted me to say she wanted to do it with me. And then Vikki was like, you should totally make a post about this in Boss, so people can do it with you. So I'm announcing this right now. And I will make a post if you're in the Boss group. I will make a post later in the week before this actually happens. But Vikki's going to be gone for 10 days. And so I'm going to do, basically, for me, what my goal is. Anybody can set their own goal with this listing challenge. It's not anything like specific. You just have to set your own goal and try and accomplish it. But basically, from when Vikki leaves on the 18th through when she gets back on the 28th, my goal is to not only list my 10 items every day, but also I want to get to where I have 100 listings that are banked. And then I want to keep that going from there. But by the time she gets back, I want to have done all my 10 listings a day, plus have an additional 100 that are banked for future listing. And so that's my goal. And so I've been going
that's
crazy.
200 listings.
Basically.
In 10 days. That's your challenge to yourself.
Kind of, yes. But like I said, I've got over 100 listings that I'm going to be listing now. And then I actually have roughly about 170 pieces that have not even been processed or photographed yet. And so I have enough to where if I don't want to, I don't need to leave the house and I can just work through the whole week, the whole 10 days and just keep it going. But I'll probably be still going to the bins a few times because I'm going to need stuff for when it's over. Otherwise
10 days and you would not leave the house the entire 10 days.
I freaking love it. It's going to be fan-freaking-tastic, but I probably will go 2 or 3 times to the bins because, like I said, basically with the stuff that I have now and what I have left, I think I have enough to, by the time you get back, I'll only have 3 days more of stuff before I would be dipping into that 100 items. And I want to keep them going because, when we go in August to Florida, that's already a chunk there that I'm going to need, or weekends or whatever. I want to keep it going.
That's not going to happen, Tommy.
What's Tommy saying?
We don't do listing party stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely not going to do that because here's the thing. We don't really do that stuff, but also we're not going to have a show on Sunday, next Sunday, or the Sunday after. There's going to be 2 Sundays where we're not going to have shows. People have said oh, you should do videos like you did the last few times Vikki's been gone. And the problem with all that is while it was fun and it was great content and it was fun to challenge myself, it wasn't as productive as I needed to be because a lot of time was taken out to do that stuff. So I'm doing it this way because it's really my focus is more on doing the actual work. So I'll do a Facebook post in the Boss group, and anybody can follow along. Also, any of you can put in the comments here after the show is over and say what your goals might be. So whatever it is, if you want to list 5 items a day for those days, you don't have to be banking anything. You can just say, I want to do 5 items a day for those 10 days, or I want to...
Yeah, Sandy's been doing great with hers. She's got a whiteboard challenge. She's got a whiteboard that she's been doing her challenge on. Jill, I don't know how you went 5 weeks without leaving at all. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, I go an entire week without leaving, so I don't have a problem with that, but I need people. I can go about a week and then I start to get antsy. I don't even know where. I just need, yesterday we went out the first time, we didn't do anything special. We just
Yeah.
Went out and ran a couple of errands. I just need to get out of the house sometimes. So.
Oh, I love staying inside. But okay, so just to reiterate, my goal is to have 100 listings banked beyond the daily stuff that I'm already doing. And you guys can set any goal that you want. So if you're in the boss group, pay attention. You can set your goal, whether it's listing 1 item a day, 2 items a day. Maybe it's going through and ending all your listings that are older than 6 months or a year, and changing the titles and changing the pictures and the prices and updating those. Anything that has something to do with listing, whatever your goal is, you set that and see if you can do it during the time that I'm doing mine. And in the Facebook group, we can keep that thread ongoing if people want to check in daily or whatever. So
Jill said COVID changed me from a Vicky to a Katy. Yeah, I mean, I will say the last couple of years I am far less social than I used to be. It's been more of I've actually had a lot of deaths in my life the last 2 years, so that for me that changed me a lot.
Yeah.
So I've definitely changed a lot. I'm nowhere near as social as I was even 2 years ago. I mean, COVID was very difficult for me because I am a very social person. Katy, on the other hand, of course, thought it was fantastic that we never had to go anywhere and it was just us. So it's been different for sure. But I actually don't mind staying home. In fact, I ask Katy that I don't ask her to do stuff nearly as much as I used to. She usually says yes when I want to leave the house and go do things.
I almost always say yes.
I did just say that.
She does know that, like, if she tries to ask me the same day to do something, a lot of times I'm going to say no. But even then, more often than not, I'm going to say yes.
That's your stubborn resistant. I don't like changing my schedule.
Well, and I think that's fair for me to be that way. I think that's okay. I think, Vicky can attest to the fact that, like, I've become a lot more flexible over the years that we've been together. But part of that is just me telling myself, when she asks me to do stuff, I'm going to say yes. So it's almost like a built in. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway. All right, guys. So that is the challenge.
That's nice, Jill. I like Zoom hangouts with friends. I like to do that. We have friends that we do that with occasionally. Plus, obviously, we do this with you guys. That's what we consider this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not knocking Listing Party and being on those things. I know a lot of you guys do that and have a good time. Obviously, List Perfectly is not our company, and we just don't do listing parties. I've never even attended one. I've attended a couple when we're in New England and we happen to be with Trish and Diane at Trish's house or whatever. That's it. But
yeah.
I'm sure it's a great thing for people that enjoy that type of social working environment. I personally can't get work done when I'm doing that. So that for me would be just like watching YouTube, which I can't do either because it's too distracting. So
I'm just going to see how long I can go without talking to a human being. Although, like I said, if I go to the bins, Jesse usually is there in the morning. So I do talk when I'm at the bins. Okay.
You do. You talk to Jesse. Only talk. I talk to nobody unless it's Jesse's there. I don't really talk to people.
I have a few people that I talk to. I got a few bins buddies. And then Jesse's more than a bins buddy, but it's kind of nice. That's one of the nice things about what we do is that even if we don't have an office or coworkers that we go see, you have some people that you see regularly because of the work that we do, and it's kind of like you kind of get to hang out and shoot shit.
Yeah, and we have several chats that we have going with friends all the time, and you're checking in with people that way. I think we all have learned to live in a virtual world a little bit easier than before, but we actually have the ability to do that, where it doesn't feel quite as lonely unless you want to be alone. There are other ways to reach out to people, so that's definitely helpful. Yeah. I like having, online friends and as much as I like seeing people in person. Jill, I hope we will see you at the meetup for the eBay open party. I know it's a trek for you, hun, but it'll be a weeknight, and hopefully you can come out for that one and see some people. I'd love to see your face. That will be announced shortly, but when we have all the graphics and everything from eBay, but it is going to be here for my Vegas friends or close to Vegas friends. It's Tuesday, September 24th, 5 to 8 p.m., and it will be held at the Blind Center of Nevada, the same place that we hold the eBay, we hold our Boss Reseller Remix. Mm-hmm. They will be full catering. They're going to be making
tacos. They're going to do tacos, and their tacos are so good.
And they're going to have, we're going to have lots of prizes and some eBay people. We will have an eBay growth advisor there. You can make appointments to discuss your account personally and in depth with them after the event or during the event. So it'll be a good time. Aw, Patty, you're going to be in Palm Springs.
Oh, and the one other part to my goal while Vicky is gone is also getting all of my inventory put away. Like I said, I just photographed and have like over 100 pieces right now. I'm doing another 170 pieces within this week. And then I have stuff from before then, from the last time I put stuff away, and I went and bought those extra bins, and I need to put them to use. And so my other goal is once I photograph and process and photograph all of those 170 items, I need to put everything away. I need my entire inventory put away.
Yeah.
And I can do it.
Fun with that. And you have a honey-do list.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens. She thinks she can leave and just be like, oh, here's some stuff you have to do while I'm gone. I'm like, I'll try.
It's usually stuff I've been bugging her to do for, I don't know.
But it's not like I'm not
more.
doing anything. I'm like constantly doing stuff. So it's not, it's just there's certain things that maybe take a little bit longer. But so she's leaving and I'm like, yeah, I got all this time to do all this stuff. And she's like, oh, here's a list of things I'd like you to attend to. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Listen, doesn't everybody else have a honey-do list for their partner? Or they got the honey-do list for themselves?
I honey-do stuff all the time. Look at your pool out
Tommy,
in the backyard.
$125 plane. Tommy, I'll tell you this right now. Mm-hmm. If you fly in to go to this meetup with us, you have a space to sleep on the couch.
Oh.
I would say the spare bed. I would say the spare bedroom, but Shelly's going to be in the spare bedroom. So
yeah, if you did that.
If you come in, you're welcome to stay with us.
Yeah, you'll just be on the couch with dogs laying on you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's it. All right, guys. We will talk to you later. We appreciate you. Remember, there's not going to be a show for the next 2 weeks, so we're not going to see you for like 3 weeks.
Oh, I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their summer for the next couple of weeks. Some of us, that's all it lasts. Let's be real. Not just here, but...
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But if you come and hang out with us in the thread for the challenge in the Facebook group, I will be putting that up sometime, probably either Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe Thursday when it actually all starts.
Right.
Anyway, guys.
Have a great week. Have a great couple of weeks. I'll see you when I get back.
Bye.
Bye.